Hi, welcome to another video. So, yesterday I made a video about OpenClaw alternatives because, let's be real, OpenClaw has been blowing up lately. It hit like 180,000 stars on GitHub. The creator just got hired by OpenAI, and everyone and their dog is trying to run it. But the problem is, it's heavy. It uses over a gig of RAM. It takes forever to start up. And if you're running it on anything that isn't a beefy machine, good luck. Now, apparently many of you were facing the exact same issue, and a ton of you told me about this one alternative in the comments. And after looking into it, this thing actually looks amazing. So, let's talk about it. It's called ZeroClaw, and the tagline on their GitHub is literally Claw done right. It's a fully autonomous AI assistant built entirely in Rust, and it is designed to be an ultra-lightweight replacement for OpenClaw. We're talking a 3.4 megabyte binary. That's the whole thing. 3.4 megabytes. OpenClaw's core alone is over a gig. So this is like 99% smaller, which is just insane. Now, let's talk about why this matters. The whole idea behind ZeroClaw is that your AI assistant should be a daemon, not an operating system. OpenClaw tries to do everything, and that's cool, but it also means you need serious hardware to run it. ZeroClaw takes the opposite approach. It's lean, it's fast, and it runs on basically anything. And when I say anything, I mean it. You can run this on a Raspberry Pi Zero, a $10 board. That's it. Under 5 megabytes of RAM. And the startup time is under 10 milliseconds on a release build. Compare that to OpenClaw, which takes several seconds just to boot up. So, this is kind of great. Now let's talk about what it actually supports. ZeroClaw works with over 22 AI providers out of the box. So you've got Claude, OpenAI, Ollama, Groq, Mistral, and a bunch more. If you're using Ollama locally, this is a perfect match because you can run both ZeroClaw and your models on the same cheap hardware. There are even guides out there for setting up ZeroClaw with Ollama, and people are saying it's the fastest OpenClaw fork setup they've tried. On top of that, it connects to all the popular messaging platforms, so Telegram, Discord, Slack, WhatsApp. Just like OpenClaw, you can control your computer from your phone through a chat app. But unlike OpenClaw, it won't eat your system's resources while doing it. Now, the architecture is also pretty cool. Everything in ZeroClaw is built on traits, so the providers, channels, tools, and memory are all swappable. You can switch your AI provider or your messaging channel just by changing a config file. No code changes needed, which is also good because it means there's no lock-in. If you want to move from OpenAI to Ollama or from Telegram to Discord, you just change your config and you're good to go. Let's talk about the memory system because this is something that really impressed me. ZeroClaw builds a hybrid search engine on top of SQLite. It stores vector embeddings as blobs and uses SQLite's FTS5 extension for full-text search with BM25 scoring. And the best part? Zero external dependencies. You don't need to run Pinecone or Elasticsearch or any of those heavyweight services. It's all baked into that tiny binary, which is pretty amazing to be honest. Now, security is another area where ZeroClaw really stands out. It has strict sandboxing, explicit allow lists for commands, workspace scoping, so the agent can only access files in your designated workspace, and it binds to localhost by default. It refuses to bind to all interfaces unless you explicitly allow it. So it passes all the items from the community security checklist for AI agents. This is important because, if you've been following the news, there have been info stealers targeting OpenClaw config files and stealing API tokens. So having security baked in from the ground up is a big deal. And for those of you already using OpenClaw and thinking about switching, they've got a migration tool built right in. You just run ZeroClaw migrate OpenClaw with the --dry-run flag first to preview everything, and then run it again without the flag to actually migrate. It imports your OpenClaw memory and settings, so you don't lose anything. To install ZeroClaw, it's pretty straightforward. You clone the repo, then run cargo build --release, and then cargo install --path. After that, you run ZeroClaw init to go through the onboarding wizard, which sets up your AI provider, your API keys, and your channel configurations. Everything gets stored in a config file at ~.zeroclaw/config.toml, and your API keys are encrypted by default, which is also great. Now, let me give you my honest take on this. I think ZeroClaw is genuinely exciting for a few reasons. First, it makes the whole AI agent thing accessible to people who don't have expensive hardware. A $10 Raspberry Pi versus a Mac Mini? That's a massive difference. Second, the Rust Foundation means it's memory safe and incredibly fast. And third, the modular architecture means you're not locked into any single provider or platform. The fact that it has 7,600 stars already and over 640 forks shows that the community is really getting behind this. And I think it's part of a bigger trend. The local AI assistant space is maturing, and people want options that are lightweight and secure, not just feature-packed. There are some things to keep in mind, though. Since it's built in Rust, contributing to the project requires Rust knowledge, which might be a barrier for some developers. And the ecosystem of plugins and integrations isn't as big as OpenClaw's yet. But honestly, for what it does and how little resources it uses, this is a really solid alternative. I'd say if you're running OpenClaw on anything less than a high-end machine, or if you care about security and efficiency, give ZeroClaw a try. It's open source, it's free, and it's genuinely impressive. Overall, it's pretty cool. Anyway, share your thoughts below and subscribe to the channel. You can also donate via Super Thanks option or join the channel as well and get some perks. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.